Okay. As a student, what was your initial reaction to the November 23 Maguindanao massacre?
I heard of it first day, but it sank in 2 days after. I was busy with other things, and I was guilty when I saw the pictures. Really left me questioning. Students were taught a lot of things about what is right, what is good, follow the rule of law. As Sangu, we tell people we change the world by voting, change the world by following the rules, trusting other people, all these things. And it just caught up with me that the reality is not everyone follows the same set of rules. And I still ask the same question now, what are we to do with people who don't follow the rules? What are we to do with people who just cease to be, as what we learn in philo, to be human? How can we, what can we do against them? It's still a question I disturb with. Will all my philo and theo and all the things that we learn be for naught? If there are just a few people who do these kinds of things. I was saying to other people that I sympathize more with the terrorists of 9/11 than them, because the terrorists then wanted to kill because they believe it was their God telling them to do so. But in this case, the people who perpetrated this wanted to do it out of power, out of greed, out of things that we as students have been taught should not be the purpose of our lives. So what are we to do in a world where people don't respect our humanity as has been? And are we to respect them as humans too? Those are the questions that remain right now as I move on to the tragedy.
So, do you believe in the national government's ability to protect state witnesses?
No, in the government's ability per se. We've seen cases where unknown witnesses die just because. But we've had cases like Zunuzada and Rosban who have been protected not just by the government itself, but by an active and vigilant civil society. So that's NGOs, the church, us as students, making sure that the government is doing their work. So us making the government accountable will really push the government to do its work. Unless, of course, a big army attacks the safe house or something. Barring that, I believe that civil society, if it practices its duty, the fiscalizer, the person, the people who make sure the government does its work, well, the state witness program can actually work.
How should a defected member of the private army weigh his choice on what to give up in a situation as grave as this?
I think on all cases, the intention of protecting the family has to go first. It was clear from how I read the case, and there's no fault in that. But I think the value is to make sure that when you weigh the options, you look at who is worthy of your trust. Yes, the government might not be able to protect you, but I think it's more rational and it's more productive to cast your lot on an entity that did not, in the first place, want to protect itself, but you. The governor would, of course, want to protect himself. And if it becomes convenient, it becomes necessary to kill you, the person, the defective member, then it happens without you doing anything about it. At least with the government, at least when the case is big as this, when your civil society is behind you, you have a better chance. It's not a full-proof chance. There's risk, there's danger, of course, there's emotional, it was talked about there, the good friends, all these things. But with the intention of protecting the family, there is a better chance of protecting the family by working with the government.
Last question. What suggestions would you give Abu Dhabi on what actions to take if he were to ask you for advice as a student as part of the Sanggunian?
Okay. As a student, and still remember Sanggunian, I really believe in the power of civil society. So it's important for him first to clarify his options. He should not do it rashly. So kumbaga, kumukha lang siyang gobyerno, hindi naman ganun kabilis yun. So there are ways to do this. Perhaps go through civil society first, media, church, people who would be able to, who would want to protect and would not be corrupted in a sense. The governor potentially still has power even if he were in jail or something. So he has to go through the right people and make sure that the intentions of people are right. And of course, his own intention, that because as much as he wants to protect the family, he has to be clear to himself that what he did was wrong and what the governor wanted to do was wrong and the entire thing was wrong. So with the disposition of not really guilt but of repentance or less, of wanting to make good or wrong, it becomes easier for civil society to accept and protect this person. Of course, you witness because you want something in return, but at the same time, the mere witnessing is of value. You close the case, you prevent it from happening again. And I think Abu Dhabi should consider that as much as it considers the family.